Hello friends. So in the series of transits, as I told you, the slow moving planets has great impact on our chart, the horoscope, as well as our lives. So today in this video, I'm here to explain to you the transit of Jupiter and Saturn. But before I go any further with this video, let me explain to you what are these two planets all about. See, Saturn, that is called Shani, and Jupiter, called as Guru. Saturn is associated with your karmas. Jupiter is associated with wisdom. To understand it better, let me take you to the board and explain you through the definition, the charts, so you can relate and know the basics of it. So friends, as you can see on the board, where I've mentioned that I shall be talking today about Jupiter and Saturn transit. Let us understand. Jupiter transit over any house or over any planet. So when I say over a house or over a planet, that means a particular planet, wherever it is in your chart, that's called the natal position when you were born. When a planet goes over it, what happens? Especially Jupiter, when it traverses from that planet or that house, it will expand. It will first of all magnify, expand, because that is the nature of Jupiter. It will try to ease that house or the planet. It will ease, or you can say it will smoothen the results of the bhava, of that bhava, that is house, or the planet, whatever it represents. Correct? Now, for example, I've given an example. If Saturn rules the 10th house, I have shown over here in this chart, it rules the 10th house. This is Capricorn. Then Jupiter transiting over natal Saturn. Okay, see, understand, the bhav is this, but the lord of this house is sitting over here in Libra. It is in exaltation, that is Saturn. And now Jupiter is traversing, it is going over this Saturn. Obviously, these two houses will have an impact because Saturn represents these two houses. So, Saturn's, now it is transiting over the natal degree also. Please understand, it goes to the same degree, the impact is there. Or even the entire sign. So, even the entire sign, right, from 0 to 30 degrees also will have an effect, but the more impact you will feel when it goes directly over the same natal degree, will tend to expand or improve the result related to job and career, right? Because Saturn is in the marriage house, no doubt about it, but it is representing the job, career, profession, promotion, demotion, whatever it is, and the 11th house of social circle, fulfillment of desire, and all those things. Now, we have to understand, when you say that Jupiter is going over it, it will expand. Or if you are having some problems in your career, that means you are stuck somewhere in the career, Jupiter will give you a ease or a release, or it will smoothen out the struggle that you're going through. Now, this is all about Jupiter whenever Jupiter moves and goes over any planet. Now, as I mentioned that I'll be talking about Jupiter's transit, I shall be talking about Saturn's, Shani's transit as well. Now, look here. Saturn transit will bring out the result of a sign or a planet it transits over into. Now, I will make you, like I said, Jupiter goes over any planet. Similarly, if Saturn goes over any planet in the natal chart or in a particular house, what will happen? Saturn will increase the focus. See, we have to understand two things. Jupiter will remain in one sign for almost 13 months, whereas Saturn will remain in one sign for 30 months, that is 2.5 years. And what will happen? The transit of Saturn will bring out the result of the sign or of the planet over into focus. It will bring into focus. All of a sudden it will bring into focus. You cannot escape those topics of life in that time. You cannot escape because this is a karmic planet. It will bring out the karma for good or bad, whatever it is. Even if you could earlier, before Saturn entered that sign, or before it went over a planet, maybe you were escaping the karma. Maybe you were enjoying life. But now when Saturn is going to traverse over that particular sign or that planet, now you cannot escape. Saturn is known that he will take you to task. Saturn by itself is not negative or positive. Saturn by itself, you cannot say it is positive or negative. But it has a general tone of slowing down things as it takes 30 months in one sign and gives result accordingly. Saturn by its nature is about limiting yourself. So if you are doing something, you are going overboard, or you are doing something which was not required, it is going to definitely put you into limitations. It will judge you as per your efforts. It will judge you whether you are putting the efforts over there or no. What is the caliber and what is the karma in that area, and give you the result accordingly. So he will see whichever house it traverses. He'll see whether in the past so many years, have you put the right efforts? Did you achieve that caliber into it? Or did you even have any good or bad karmas? Good karmas, good result. Bad karmas, definitely you will be put to a task. Saturn will move into the next sign, but before that, it will make sure you have learned the required lesson, good or bad. Now, before it transits into the next house, he will make sure that you have learned the lesson. Now, I will bring out one more concept over here. Suppose Saturn is traversing from here. This is the 7th house. So your focus is on the marriage house, partnership, business, whatever it is. Now, Saturn is going to remain over here for 2.5 years. Forget about the Jupiter being here. Now, Saturn is going to have all the focus over here, and he'll see whether how are you with your wife? Did you have any extramarital affair? Were you into any bad, all those things it will see. If you have been helping your spouse, if you are good to the family, it will bring out good result, or bad result if your karmas are not good. Now, before it goes from 0 to 30 degrees and goes into the next sign, remember Saturn always into one sign goes retrograde, or at least twice it goes retrograde. Now, what is a retrograde? Retrograde is a check of Saturn for 3.5 to 4 months, where he will say, let me go back and check whether this person has learned the lesson or he's not the lesson. That is why I always say Saturn's retrogression is introspection. It will put you into introspection. Please check whether you have done your homework or no. Have you done the right thing or no? If you haven't, then before I leave this sign, I will definitely spoil that house completely. Are you understanding? Now, like I explained to you Jupiter, now look at this Saturn. Now Saturn, as you know, according to the house, if it is over here, self-image. If it is here, wealth, family and values. This is the lesson it's going to teach you. The focus will be here. Third house, Saturn will say efforts, travels, communication. Fourth house, Saturn will make sure the areas that will be in focus would be mother, domestic happiness, property, vehicle, masses, peace of mind. Fifth house, children, romance, It will talk about your creativity. If you're playing in share market, sixth house, disease, loans, debts, enemies. Now please remember, Saturn in this house is very strong here, very strong here. Now here, if you are having some debts, if you have some diseases, it will try to rectify it also. It will bring out the enemies in front of you. It will definitely help you. But then it depends, as I said, what is your efforts? Are you willing to clear your debts? Are you willing to fight those diseases? Are you doing proper exercise to fight the diseases? Are you taking the right diet or no? He will check you on that. Seventh house, marriage, partnership, business, foreign settlement and audience. Like here I have spoken about masses. Fine. Eighth house, I have only mentioned over here transformation, a complete transformation, a 180-degree shift, and certain event will take in your life. That event itself will bring you out of the comfort zone and teach you a lesson. Ninth house is a long travel. It is about religion, long travel, higher education. 10th house, profession, career, promotion, occupation, social status. 11th house, income, desire and social circle. 12th house, loss, hospitalization, imprisonment and moksha. Okay. Now friends, this is all about the two planets, Jupiter, wisdom, Saturn, karma. Jupiter is expansion, Saturn opposite to it, limitation. It will try to limit you and say the limitation is very important, because if it doesn't limit you, you are going overboard over anything. Fine. So that's all for today in this video. The next video I'm making is in Hindi for my Hindi audience. Thank you so much.